Hello and welcome to Grief Support That Works. I am Jo McRogers, grief therapist. Today on World Mental Health Day, we're diving into a topic that connects deeply with our emotional well-being, and that's the relationship between grief and mental health. Grief is one of the most challenging experiences that we all have, and yet it's also often misunderstood or overlooked when we think about our mental health. So let's take a moment to explore how tending to our grief can support our overall well-being. Now, it's important to know that grief is a natural response to loss, and whether it's the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or even a shift in our life circumstances, grief touches us all and in different ways. But when unacknowledged or unsupported, grief can become intertwined with our mental health, contributing to issues like anxiety, depression, and even experienced trauma. Julia Samuel, a leading grief psychotherapist in the UK, has said, quote, "1 in 3 people will suffer from a mental health issue linked to their experience of grief," end quote. Now, her words must remind us of just how common and deeply connected these experiences can be. So grief and mental health are not separate. They are linked. And how we navigate our grief can significantly impact our mental and emotional state. Remember that emotional states do not take turns. They overlap, they intertwine, and they confuse us. So how does grief affect our emotional well-being? Well, our most natural response to grief is to just tough it out, to be strong, let time heal. But when we don't allow ourselves the space to fully heal and express our grief, it can manifest as persistent sadness, trouble concentrating, or even physical symptoms like fatigue, sleep disturbances, GI issues, and old injuries return. Studies have shown that approximately 15 to 30% of people experiencing a major loss can go on to develop emotional states such as prolonged grief disorder, where the grief remains intense and disabling. This speaks to how profoundly grief can impact our mental health when we don't acknowledge and support our grief. But there is an answer to this. Tending to our grief, creating space for it, sharing our experiences, and seeking support can be a key part of caring for our mental wellness. By allowing ourselves to grieve, we are actually allowing ourselves to mend our grief and to restore our health. So what does it mean to mend our grief? Well, these are the tasks of grief. Start by acknowledging our feelings without judgment. Give ourselves permission to feel and find a supportive, safe space where we can share our stories, honor ourselves, and honor the one who has passed or the situation that has changed. Research shows that those who engage with their grief in a healthy way through talking, writing, or community support, therapy, yoga, that they are 50% more likely to experience improved emotional well-being than those who do not. It's not about moving on or getting over the loss, it's about moving forward with it. And today, on World Mental Health Day, let's please remember that caring for our grief is a way to care for our minds, our bodies, and our heart. It's an act of self-compassion and a step toward a healthier relationship with our grief and with ourselves. If you are feeling the weight of your grief, please know that you are not alone. This little community on YouTube is here to support you through your journey. Please take time to tend to your grief. This becomes a powerful way to nurture your mental health. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. You need to discover your own way to grieve. And to help support you to find your own way to grieve, what's right for you, I've created a short quiz that you can use to identify your dominant grieving style. Tell me where to send it to you for free so that you can learn both the strengths and the challenges of your own grieving profile. You can find the link in the comments, the video description, and at the end of this video. Please tend to your grief today and every day as we work towards supporting our grief differently. Thank you for joining me today, and if this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else who might need to hear this message. There are many ways for us to work together. Check out my website and choose the right service for you at the right time. And until I see you again, I send you kind thoughts, kind words, and a kind heart. Thank you, and take good care.